Praise Him, brother and sister. Reverend Dr. Catherine Weathers from the Pastor Catherine Weathers Show. And we are going to view Jewish religion, specifically the Halakha, Jewish law, which allows for divorce. The document of divorce is termed a get. The final divorce ceremony involves the husband giving the get document into the hands of the wife or her agent, but the wife may sue in rabbinical court to initiate the divorce. In such a case, a husband may be compelled to give the get if he has violated any of his numerous obligations. This was traditionally accomplished by beating and or monetary coercion or coercion. In Israel, Jewish divorce is granted only by husband's permission. In Get, the character Vivian and Salom wants a divorce, but her husband will not give permission. In Israel, if you're Jewish, even if you're not religious, you have to be divorced by Jewish law. And this was originally published on March 3rd, 2015, written by Emily Harris. It was a movie. In Israel, Jewish divorce is granted only by husband's permission. And we're going to use this to answer the question explaining Jewish divorces or how to explain a Jewish divorce. What are some of the legalities? Amen? So in Israel, religious law governs family matters. For a Jewish divorce, an Orthodox rabbi oversees the ritual that begins with the husband placing a folded decree called a get or get into the wife's cupped hands. In this picture, you see the woman's hand is laid flat on the table, and the husband's just looking at her and her hand. But that paper can be hard to obtain because the husband can refuse to grant the divorce. And this also happens here in America with the Orthodox Jews because a woman would be shunned from the community, even her children, if she tries to get an outside divorce in America without going through the rabbi, which is very hurtful because that means her children and family have disowned her. That's what it means. So she's alone. Not every woman is that strong. Okay, so a new Israeli film playing in the United States show how patriarchal Jews divorce laws can trap even secular women for years. The film is a drama called Get, the trial of Vivian Salom. Vivian wants a divorce, but needs her husband's permission. The scene is a small courtroom, one couple and their advocate in front of three Orthodox rabbis. In Israel, if you're Jewish, even if you're not religious, you have to be divorced by Jewish law. But rabbi judges cannot decree a divorce. And I want to say that again. But rabbi judges cannot decree a divorce. Then why do you go to them? What is the purpose, right? Okay. How come a woman's freedom is at the mercy of her husband? Asked Ronit Elkabitz, who co-directed the film and played the lead role. The law was written, I don't know, maybe 4,000 years ago, but it puts the woman in a place that they became invisible and helpless, and most of the time completely dependent on their husband's will. In the film, the rabbis urged the women, or the female, or the wife, to make up with her husband and do nothing as he skips repeated hearings. After several years, Vivian Absalom breaks out in a fury. One day, someone will take the power from your hands, she yells. Skull caps on your head, rabbinical court, it's over. Orthodox religious rule over many parts of life is a growing tension in Israel, and becoming irrelevant is a real worry of Israel rabbinical judges. In an unprecedented move, they decided to watch this film. Now, why do you think the film was created? To help the wives get these rabbinical judges the understanding of what's going on and how people see what you're doing. Because somehow they couldn't see on their own what was going on. So here we go. I thought it's important that we understand how we're being perceived and why, says Rabbi Shimon Jacobi, a legal advisor to the court. It's clear not everyone in Israel shares the values of the rabbinical court, but within religious law, we'll do everything we can to help. These rabbinical judges almost never watch movies. They study Jewish religious and legal texts all day, most days. The texts guide their lives and their court decisions. After the special showing, Jacoby said he did not like what he saw. This is not our court, he says. Our judges are not like this or that. The movie showed the judges so indifferent to the women's distress, it shocked the real live judges, he said. They resolved 90% of their cases within a year, he said, but that leaves 100 unresolved, and that is the problem, I guess. Rana Denenberg, 64, has in real life spent 28 years, more than a third of her life, trying to get divorced. Israeli civil courts approved dividing Denenberg and her husband's property, but then her husband disappeared. The rabbi in religious courts were kind, she said, but could do nothing. Why? Because he disappeared. You cannot get a divorce without a husband, she says. Here in America, what would we do? We would place a stipulation the husband is missing, and if he's missing for 7 years, they would declare him legally dead. I guess they can't do that in the Jewish courts. Busy with kids and work, she lets things go. Then last year, she got a lien on her car because her estranged husband owes somebody money. She has gone back to the rabbi, her only path to freedom. I am free, but I don't feel free, you know, Denenberg says. And she's not free because she's not legally divorced by the court system. If the courts find her husband, they can put him in jail. A Jewish man also needs his wife's permission to divorce, but without it, he can live with another woman and have children recognized as Jewish in Israel while she can't, and they need to stop that. Okay? Now, the courts can stop that right there, but they refuse to do it. Why? Because the man is benefiting. And this has been the problem, and you see this in the Old Testament all the time. The man benefits. When Jesus saw how they brought the woman who was the adulteress and left the man, how can you prove she was the adulteress? Y'all caught him in the act. Well, why you just bringing a woman? Why not bring the woman and the man? And if you only have the one, then how can I'm not going to say they were caught in the act. I only see the one. You see? And this is what a lot of men don't see. That the law has to be fair on both sides of the track. That's what God calls for. Sometimes something are changing. Some things are changing. Advocates are trying to make separate a legal civil status. Rachel Levmore, who was among the first women to serve as a lawyer in front of the rabbi, says Jewish law is designed to evolve, but divorce law got stuck a few hundred years ago. The rabbis themselves are afraid to change it. Levmore says they'll say to you outright, no matter how great a rabbi you think he doesn't think he's a great rabbi. He will say, I can't possibly change what others have decreed before me. I am a mouse compared to their status. No, he compromises his integrity. And that's what that's about. From the perspective of this film, though, they are giants. And for our purpose, I think we're finished. I'm going to add this from Rachel Martin, and this is the host. Now to Israel, where religious law governs family matters. For a Jewish divorce, an Orthodox rabbi oversees a ritual that begins with the husband placing a folded decree into the wife's cupped hand. But that paper can be hard to get because the husband can refuse to grant the divorce. A new Israeli film playing in the United States shows how patriarchal Jews' divorce law can trap even secular women for years. NPR Emily Harris reports from Jerusalem. The film is a drama called Get, the trial of Vivian Anselmo. Vivian wants a divorce but needs her husband's permission. And if you can go watch it.